guys, and welcome to another video. This is gonna be a review of Voge 525 DSX. This bike interested me as a really nice middleweight bike, adventurous type. It has a really nice specs. It's 2 cylinders. It has around 18 liters, I believe. I'm gonna put the specs on the screen. Of fuel capacity. It has almost 500 cc's and the power is almost 50 horsepower. Yeah, as I'm already sensing, the shifter works really nice. You can get to gear and get out of the gear quite easily, simply, which is amazing. It's very soft. The riding position is also very nice. The engine feels under stress somehow. I'm really liking this bike from the get and go. Definitely, the shifter is amazing. I did not expect the shifter to be so smooth. It's shifting gears like a Honda. The riding position is very relaxed. I'm quite upright. The handlebars are not too tall, not too low. They're right where they're supposed to be, I would say. Yeah, downshifts work amazing. It's very friendly gearbox and it feels very lively since there is a torque down low, so as soon as you pull the gas it's going. There is a mode switch over here. Let's see what's happening if I switch it from E, which is economy, to S, which is sport. Let me see if I can sense some difference. Very agile, definitely very agile bike. The clutch pull is so soft, it's softer than my Honda Transalp. Mirrors are right there supposed to be. Again, I did not expect all of this, to be honest. I'm seeing a little bit only of my shoulder area, otherwise I'm seeing a lot what's happening behind. The windscreen looks so cool, looks very sporty. Yeah, this gearbox amazes me. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but this shifter feels smoother than my Honda. I don't know how. The brakes are really good. A nosedive is present, as it is with lots of adventure touring bikes, but it's not to some extent that bothers me so far. Let me see when I go a little bit in a more sporty mode. Let's try some heavier acceleration. Yeah, the bike feels very lively. It doesn't feel like underpowered at all. It feels like it has lots of juice down there. From what I heard, the consumption is very good also. 3.7 with pillion passenger and with full top case loaded. So you can expect 3 point something average when you're alone probably. But I'm also guessing you can lower it slightly below 3 liters if you're alone. Let me just check the agility of this thing. Yeah, since the handlebar is quite wide, it's not the widest thing, but it's still wide. The bike handles really nice. It just, you know, wants to go, wants to move. Yeah, the bike listens, very much listens to all of the inputs I have to give to it, and drops down quite fast. I like the thumpy feel that engine has. It's like, it's not feeling racy, it's not feeling high revving, but there is thumps, you know, when you pull the gas, it's just like there is some kind of a nice note and tone to it also. The exhaust, I actually prefer the exhausts that are not too loud, especially on 2 cylinders. I prefer to have some bass, to have some thump. And this thing so far, it's not loud at all. You can hear a little bit of engine note, but it's really nice for chilling, cruising, doesn't bother you. The screen, as you can see, not the most pretty thing in the world, but honestly very useful. The sizing of the lettering is right enough, I would say, and you can clearly see what's happening, the RPMs, everything. So I can say this looks fine to me. This looks actually nice to me. This is a personal preference, you know, when you talk about these screens and the design and the look. but I like this kind of futuristic things. You have your accessories like 12 volts input and also the USB input on the right side. The handguards are here as a standard, and they're doing a really good job, I would say. Yeah, it has the bump over here, so it pushes the air above. Sitting so far really pleases me. As I was saying from the start, it's very comfortable. My arms are really relaxed. I'm gonna try standing now to see how this thing is when you maybe want to go like that on some gravelly road. I'm 182 centimeters tall. You can stand and this tank does not get in your way. Amazing, again. When accelerating from the start, I didn't notice any kind of squatting of the bike, so it's pretty stable. It feels more sporty than kind of adventurous, you know, when the bikes drop back. So this is the bike that's mostly oriented for the road. Yeah, it listens very much to the input. You can lean it over, it goes. I don't know, I fell in love with these bikes that are like 400, 500 to 800 cc's. They are very fun, very useful. You can rev them out, you can have fun in all the revs. Not like 1000 cc's, you know, 160, 200 horsepower, where you want to go some twisties, some city, and you're keeping it in one gear. The suspension so far deals with these road imperfections quite nicely. There is no harsh feeling at all, and that says something that I'm only talking about it right now, because if I felt something I would be saying it immediately. No strange noises, no things from the plastics that you can hear on some bikes when you accelerate, you know, and something starts to be noisy. Here everything feels tight, everything feels well built. It is plastics mostly, of course, but that also makes this bike lighter. It is around 190 kilos, so it's gonna be better on acceleration, braking, agility, and this is what I actually prefer, you know. Where you set it, there it goes. Definitely, where you set it, there it goes. And when you rev it up, it just feels more sporty than ever. My legs have quite a room over here. They are not as open as on some adventure bikes, but they are not locked as with sport bikes. And the foot pegs are a little bit more backwards than my Transall, for example. Yeah, when you come to these 500 RPMs, it changes the tone of the exhaust and it sounds really nice. Now I'm so excited to actually try the Voge 900, since this thing is so nice to ride, but that bike actually has much more weight and it's not gonna feel like this, I'm quite positive. The seat doesn't bother me so far. It feels like it's right amount of stiffness and softness at the same time. The shifter never misses any input. I don't know what to say about this. I'm in love with this thing. This is eco mode, let's go to sport mode. The buttons don't have some kind of crazy amount of user feedback to them, but they are doing their job properly. I didn't notice anything problematic with them. Man, these Chinese bikes continue to impress me. This thing so far has 2 thumbs up from me, and for the price of around 6,000 euros, there is a high chances I would consider this thing if I was in a market. Man, this thing handles like a sport bike. What is this, man? Just wants to go. I don't see what's around the corner, so I don't want to push anything. Counter steering or counter balance works flawlessly. The bike is very stable. amazingly stable. Amazingly stable. It does everything you want to do, and it doesn't surprise you with anything, be it handling, power, braking. Yeah, so like I said, the nosedive is present, but it's not bad at all. It dives a little bit and then comes back immediately. Yeah, the front brake is great. Like, I'm not comparing this bike to some other high performance, high priced bikes. That's not the point. I'm talking from experience of you riding it on the street, riding it within the sense of rational speeds. So for this purpose, this kind of technical sporty ride, this bike performs amazingly. Very controlled, very stable. I love it. The rear brake, I must say, it's just an average thing I've seen from other bikes as well. Like, I cannot say like this is now the best rear brake, but it also does brake very smoothly. It bites on time. It's not too late. Man, if I was alone and if I wanted a bike to travel, to have fun, to enjoy, this would be my pick, definitely. If I wasn't riding also with my wife and with heavier luggage, but even with this in mind, you can still pick this bike if you are more consumption aware person, you know. So if you don't want to do anything too crazy on a bike, if you feel like this is right enough power for me, you can manage also with this thing. This thing can carry you and pillion and the additional weight. You know, before people used to travel with so low amount of power on the bikes. Now we became too picky, you know. There is no perfect bike, you just need to pick something that suits you the best. And if you want to be conscious about the budget, consumption, maintenance, I would definitely consider this thing. Now the vibrations, there is no any kind of extra vibrations on top of the basic ones that two cylinders bike have, I would say. I'm not sensing any tingling, anything bad. It's actually very smooth, and it has less vibrations than some two cylinders bikes that I've tried. And I'm talking about both handlebar, the seat, and the plastics over here. The most amount of the vibrations I feel is when I stick my knees to the plastics. Then I feel the vibrations, but they are not bad at all. They are just, you know, the kind of vibrations that you feel the engine is doing something, it's alive. Now let's say now I need to brake out of a sudden, there is nobody behind me. Very nice. Very nice. The front one picks up immediately, where the rear one is a bit late. The foot needs to be diving a bit deeper, but it's really nice. 80 kilometers per hour. Yeah, I feel the ABS intruding. And these bikes came a long way up since the time I actually tried it the first time. Like the Chinese bikes I tried a long time ago, and this is a sky and earth difference. I don't see any difference between this and the Japanese bikes. It is built for the price. So for example, when you look at it at the cockpit side, you know, this plastic looks a bit cheaper, doesn't give you some kind of a premium feel, but it doesn't bother me at all, you know. If these things, the accessories, the plugs are doing their job, the TFT is doing its job, I don't care about much of how the bike looks. Again, it comes down to the personal preference as well. It's built sturdy, nothing moves, nothing shakes. This is what's of most interest to me. Downshifts amazingly. Yeah, on this rougher stuff on the road, I'm feeling them, but it doesn't hit me surprise, you know. Let's try the overtake, where is not intersecting with the other roads. Here I don't overtake ever, because there's chances this guy will turn. Let's try it here, 5th gear, 400 RPMs, sport mode, full gas, and it's like it has additional pull at around 5000 RPMs. Now sometimes with some smaller bikes, these plastics over here on the sides where the knees are coming are limiting your movement of leg, and also it might not suit some riders, but for me, for my height of 182, I would say my torso is normal length as well. I don't have this problem at all on this bike. So my knees are coming to this edge of the plastics, but they are not limited by any means. Now honestly, I was always a Japanese bike person, but recently started being converted towards Chinese, and I started being a fan of, here is a dog, here is a doggy dog. I started being a fan of these Chinese bikes, honestly, because Japanese started overpricing their vehicles, and Chinese is giving so much accessories, and the warranty as well is longer, and the bikes are really nicely made. Yeah, it just goes, it just goes. So if somebody told me 1 or 2 years ago that this bike is something really nice, you need to try it, I would be very skeptical. No longer. Let's try to filter. Ah, look at this guy. He doesn't allow me to filter at all. Very good filtering ability. Since it's very agile, it's not too wide. And I'm trying to see now how it is the fueling when you're riding slower or in the city. In sport mode, when you want to keep your gas, now at 50 kilometers per hour, 3rd gear, it can be a little bit twitchy, a bit jerky. Let's try 4th gear. Also a little bit. Not too much, not to the point that it bothers me, since a lot of new bikes, because of these regulations that we have nowadays, they have this kind of a twitchy feel when you ride them slower. So this also has it. A bit more than Transalp, I would say, but nothing too bothersome. I would say you can get a habit of it. Let's try the eco mode and see what now happens. And the eco mode definitely smoothens the things out. Now it's not, you know, twitching me so much when I'm trying to keep small amount of gas. But even in eco mode, this thing pulls. So it's not a huge difference between sport and eco mode, definitely. And eco mode, like I said, is very nice for this city ride because it doesn't twitch a lot. Let's try 3rd gear now, 50 kilometers per hour. The twitching is almost gone, amazingly. It's like there is no twitching. I did not expect this. This bike is all about me not expecting a lot of things. Man, now I feel like an actual Dark Knight, which is the nickname of this bike. It feels like this riding this, it's like you're a Batman. Shifter, I don't know how many times I said. Amazing. So far the seat doesn't bother me. I'm riding for maybe 45 minutes. 90 kilometers per hour at 4000 RPMs. Handles like a dream. Like a dream and like a dream. Like a dream, definitely. There is even a tire pressure monitor on this thing, which my bike doesn't have. I feel like you can sit and ride with this thing all day long. That's how comfortable I am. Easily getting my feet on the ground, since the seat height is around 810 millimeters. Let's see standing ability on this big speed breaker. Standing ability, nobody behind, very cool, quite off-roadish. Here we are back in car box. Very thankful for them giving me this bike on a test. I'm gonna now try to see the U-turn ability. Okay, here it locks. This was at the lock position, so there is enough of space between you. Actually, yeah, there was a lock. It's not as on a Transalp, because actually Transalp is quite spacious on this maneuvering, but it's enough, of course, for what you need. The actual agility is amazing again. So guys, that would be it for this video. As a conclusion, I would recommend this bike to anyone basically who is sensible, who wants the bike to be able to do daily rides, traveling, twisties, who cares about the budget, maintainability, the price, the consumption. You know, you can still have fun with it. It's great for 2-up as well because it's so spacious. There is space behind. It's a big pedal seat, so you don't have to buy anything extra like on some bikes. It also has a great acceleration, like I said, very agile, very interesting bike. So if you're in the market for such a bike, I would recommend it, no matter if you're solo or 2-up riding. I don't recommend these bikes for beginners. I always say maybe 125 to 250 cc's. For a beginner, it's always more advisable. You can do whatever you want with your money, but that's my recommendation. So in the end, can the experienced riders have fun with this? I would say yes. I had fun with it, as long as you know what to expect. And that would be it for this one. I just didn't mention that this thing is what dealer here in Honda did, because he wants to put some saddlebags and to protect the exhaust, doesn't scratch it, damage it, so it doesn't look like this actually from the factory. It's much nicer over there, the exhaust is much nicer looking. So guys, thanks for watching. This is it for this video. See you in the next one. Bye bye from me and Voge. Dark Knight.